So during COVID, people left California for different reasons. 1.234 million people left California, according to census, from 2020 to 2024 because of force. They're making me do this. I don't want to take that. These kids staying home. I'm not staying here. I'm out of here, right? Okay. But those who chose to stay are like, I can tolerate this, not a problem. Now, the average person living in LA is roughly 37 years old, according to the census. Okay. What kind of conversations do you think a 37-year-old is having late at night?
Yes, I have been laughing all through. If you are to watch one video today, it should be this one. Americans do not blame wildfires on this change. According to CNN, the surges for wildfire up to this, the most ever. Search for this, it went down 9%. In California, no increase in the search for this change. Americans don't connect with wildfires to this change. I don't know. They are blaming Democrat for what is going on. It is important we take an exclusive look. Patrick Pet David have this to say before we go into this CNN video.
Because he says it was unbelievable. I thought it was fake news. He said that California's woke politics and DEI are the reasons for the fires because Newsom has been tearing down dams because Native Americans, but he called them Indians, wanted some of the river back so they could catch salmon. And Gavin didn't just knock down one dam for the Indians, he knocked them all down. He knocked down 4 of the dams. I'm sorry, this is stolen land, first of all, okay? California is stolen land. Second of all, that's part of what always happens. These dams, there's preservation of the dam. So that was just complete, not only misinformation, but it was racist. And I think we need to also call stuff like that out.
Well, look, I think what this has shown us is for people who thought that Donald Trump has changed, he has not changed, okay? No. He is the same immature, insensitive, inappropriate oaf that he's always been. What he should be doing right now is putting out tweets saying, I thank the heroic first responders. I thank the countries of Canada and Mexico and all the others who've helped. I thank the surrounding states that have sent help. I have talked to Governor Newsom. I have talked to Mayor Bass. I have told them that my administration in 7 days will be ready to supply everything and anything that California needs. Californians, my thoughts are with you. Those are the things you have to say. If you need help in figuring it out, go look at everything that Joe Biden has said for the last 4 years after a natural disaster. I have lived in Florida for 44 years. I have seen so many hurricanes. You know what somebody wants at that time?
Yes, disasters happen in Florida every single time. You will not get stories of incompetent like these. Gavin Newsom is trending on social media just for the wrong reasons. This cackling the view, they are doing everything possible to defend him. I understand the same way they said Biden was strong, defended Biden all through. These same people were in shame when it came out that Biden was not able. The View reads, check note, Donald Trump over the California wildfire says he is being racist to Native Americans. They never learned first. The host fumes over Trump criticisms of California woke policies and DEI. They then encouraged their audience to look at how where Biden was doing as over to 10,000 homes burned to the ground. Donald Trump is the same immature like you heard this lady saying. It is important. I show you some videos. When I look at these people, what they spew every day,
Not very sympathetic to there were 100-mile-an-hour winds. Not because it's not true, but there's been enough modeling that we know that these kinds of outlier weather events are happening in greater and greater frequency. Remember that crazy apocalyptic video of that exact same part of Southern California in 2018 burning to the ground? Because that was 6 years ago. This is not like it was a distant memory from 100 years ago. We knew in 2018 that these types of...
the Sepulveda Pass.
So yeah. This idea that we were just lollygagging around and got caught off guard by 100-mile-an-hour winds, to me, is completely not an acceptable answer. We knew in 2018 that these things could happen. We knew across the rest of the United States that these outlier weather events were happening in greater and greater frequency. If you weren't sure, you saw most of the insurance companies try to dump Southern California homes' fire coverage 3 months before this event happened. So all this data was in the realm of the knowable. And then when you double click and you get into a little bit more of the details, there's a level of incompetence bordering on criminal negligence here that we need to get to the bottom of. So I'll just give you a couple of facts. In the 1950s, the average amount of timber, so wood that was harvested in California, was around 6 billion board feet per year. In the intervening 70 years, that shrank to about 1.5 billion board feet. And so you'd say, okay, well, that's a 75% reduction. We must be making a very explicit stance on conservation. It turns out that that's not entirely true, because what it left behind was nearly 163 million dead trees. Dead, like gone. And so you would say, well, those things should have been removed. And the problem is that then there's this California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, and a whole bunch of these other regulatory policies that limited the ability of local governments and fire management to clear these dead trees and vegetation. And I think that that's a really big deal. And when you double click on that, here's where you find the real head scratcher. Okay? Multiple bills, AB 2330, AB 1951, AB 2639, all rejected by the Democrat-controlled legislature, or worse, vetoed by Governor Newsom, that would have exempted these wildfire prevention projects from CEQA and other permitting issues. Then there were other bills to try to minimize the risk of fires by burying power lines underground. SB 1003, as an example, went nowhere, didn't even get to the governor's desk. So I'm just a little bit at a loss to explain these two bodies of data. One is everybody can see that these events are happening. Southern California lived through this exact type of moment just 6 years ago. All the bills that are meant to prevent this are blocked or vetoed. This is the ultimate expression of negligence and incompetence.
Yes, when you take a look at this clip, you can clearly see that this is what the mainstream media don't want you to see. These are things that they can prevent because of this their sea change that they advocate and taking money to fight every single day. They relax. This is a situation. They know that it happens every time. So, what are the measures we need to take to prevent this? When you want to criticize Gavin Newsom, or like what I've seen Trump coming out to say, they will skip on that. They don't focus to look the solution. They start blaming, oh, Trump said this, oh, this person said this, unnecessarily. After the disasters, okay, people will be cool. Maybe they move on with their lives. Some will even move out of California. They will still not learn. After some time again, this same thing will happen.
This connection, and the way we can see this in right here and now, take a look at the monthly change in Google searches. Look at the searches for wildfire, up 2,400%. My goodness gracious, this is the most amount of people searching for wildfires ever. Going back since Google Trends began back in 2004. But look at climate change. Look at the change. It doesn't go hand in hand with wildfires. It's actually down. It's down 9%. And I also looked in California. There has been no increase in the number of searches for climate change. So the bottom line is this. Americans are definitely interested in learning about these wildfires. They're interested in following the news about the wildfires, but they are not making that connection with climate change. That's the bottom line here.
That's
Mr.
a
Berman.
really key metric you're looking at there, the connection. Overall, Americans being worried about climate change, what have we seen over time?
Yeah, you know, we have seen a lot of extreme weather events over the last few decades, right? Hurricanes, heat waves, wildfires. You might expect that Americans worry about climate change with climate change worry a lot. You go back to 1991, it was 35%. Now, it was a little bit higher in 2007, a little bit higher in 2022. But look at this. In 2023, the last time we have data, 39%. That is not statistically significantly different from this 35% back in 1991. So despite all these extreme weather events, Americans are really no more worried about climate change than they were, what is that, now nearly 35 years ago? I mean, there's just no real trend line here, Mr. Berman.
So the question is why?
Why? Why are they not really worried a lot about climate change? It might be because they feel like there's not a whole heck of a lot they can do. So climate change, humans contribute a great deal. Wow. Again, there's no real trend line here over the last few years. 2019, 49%, 2020, 49%, 2023, 46%, 2024, 45%. That's actually down 4 points from where we were back in 2019. And so less than a majority of Americans believe that humans contribute a great deal to climate change. So the bottom line is that is a big reason why they don't worry a lot. They just don't feel like they can do anything about it.
So the trend line is going down, even as scientists say that the intensity of these storms and these conditions are getting worse.
Even as
Yes, let's reason this in a normal way. Reason like a lay person. You know that this sea change happen every single year. Okay, what are the measures you have put forth to combat it? We are not saying that Democrats advocate for a sing like a song every single day, but they don't put up measures that can stop this from happening. It is crazy. You should have that measures. If people now say, okay, we were prepared that this can happen, as immediately this start, oh, you start fighting on that. Not to wait when it happens, you start trying to see what people are searching. People are searching about wildfires because they are tired of the theories they're bringing out to them. At a certain point, I want people to see things a little bit different when it concerns this. CNN is shocked. They are ranting because the metrics are not what they expected.
It's bad. What do you think is going to happen the next 12, 24, 36 months when they realize how long it's going to take to get these permits? I don't know. But staying in California is a form of saying, I believe our politicians will figure this thing out. And you have one of three choices. Leave, stay and tolerate, or find a candidate to go beat everybody and vote in a different way than you've been voting. But regardless, the exodus of California 2.0 is here.
The most incompetent,
She stays calm.
Crazy, right? I want to address something for people who says, I'm singing when I'm speaking. I don't understand. Do you want me to be fast or slow? I want to know in the comment sections, because I read through all the comment sections for 2 days straight. This is what I see, especially new people coming to this channel.
The entire city of the Pacific Palisades is burning, and you know, I flew here last night. I was on the plane, started getting texts.
So I am evacuating my home.
What we need to do against what we know is right, and these are the results.
Trump is now calling that Governor Newsom should step down.
this is you getting water to areas that need water because there are fires in 100-mile-an-hour winds.
The situation is beyond control. I'll be updating you, giving you more information to what I'm observing on social media. I didn't want to report this, but people keep sending this to me. God bless you.
Health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking straight, remember it.
As a country about January.
Yeah, we were just talking about the wildfire situation and how crazy it is that they
still funny. And then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, you know, it's sad.
I want to be
Jim Jordan.
In the 5 tenets of the First Amendment.
Like this Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
Big lying machine that's going on.
Here's how this works. There was